Hello, it's me, Jolly Olive here on Shea Station. The Mets have just won Wild Card Game 3, final score 4-2. If you weren't watching, what were you doing? I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below. One of the most unforgettable games I've seen, and I literally said that 5 days ago when the Mets went to Truist and Lindor hit that home run. They've done it again. There's so many great storylines in this game. A baseball game that we watched live on JM Baseball, stream highlights coming soon. And we went through the motions of a pitcher's duel between Tobias Myers and Jose Quintana, a storyline that will get completely forgotten in the aftermath of this game because two Brewers lefties, the most unlikely names you could think of, Sal Frelick and Jake Bauers, punched solo home runs way into the second deck against the Mets bullpen, specifically Jose Butto. To that point, the Mets had 2 hits in the game. Both of them were from Francisco Lindor. The rest of the lineup was dormant. They were a volcano that had been dormant for thousands of years and were waiting to erupt, and we weren't sure if it was happening. We tried everything we did. We lit the rally candle. We tried moving people around the studio. We needed something to happen. And then that 9th inning, after innings and innings of Brewers relievers walking to the mound, throwing 10 pitches, getting 3 outs, and screaming at the crowd, getting them fired up. We sat through that for 3 hours. And then the 9th inning comes, and the worst possible guy comes up to the mound, Devin Williams. He throws the nastiest changeup I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how anyone ever touches it. You have the top of your order. Francisco Lindor steps up to the plate, works a professional at bat, gets on base with a leadoff walk. Again, another storyline that will be forgotten. Lindor setting the tone. It was a full count. He could have struck out. He could have got called on a borderline pitch. He works a veteran at bat, works him for 8 pitches, gets on base. Brandon Nimmo follows up after the 2-hitter. He moves the runner over, gets on base as well. Pete Alonso steps up to the dish. He had struck out multiple times in the game. He had dropped a pop-up from Edwin Diaz, who had already thrown so many pitches trying to negotiate the 7th inning, keep the bleeding where it is. He drops that pop-up. Brewers fans are laughing in his face on the sideline. Our own social team tweets out, "Is this the last moment of Pete Alonso's tenure as a Met?" That's pretty embarrassing, because it was. I'm wearing an Alonso jersey, and I thought, man, this game is over. I don't believe in this guy. He doesn't have the juice. 4 for his last 40. Didn't show up in any big September series. Didn't show up in the first 2 games of this series. Why should anything change right now? Well, Pete Alonso's sitting on a fastball. He's waiting for it. He takes a couple nice pitches. He takes a changeup first pitch that's right down the middle. I've seen him crank that pitch. He decides to not swing. He works the count. He finally finds the fastball that he's looking for. He goes oppo, which is always a little scary because balls had been dying at the track all game long, and instead, this one finds the perfect corner, the perfect little spot in the fence, and just dips over beyond the reach of Sal Frelick. And the best part is that Pete knew it immediately popped off, gives us the chef's kiss around first base. The team goes absolutely ballistic. Pete Alonso washes away 3 to 4 weeks of disappointment, what could have been the defining weeks of his Mets tenure, of it possibly ending. Now that's gone. The story's been rewritten. And the boys weren't done. They tack on a big insurance run. Jesse Winker, bad back and all, gets another hit by pitch, steals a base, definitely not his game, winces at his back pain, scores on a Marte single anyway. It's 4-2 Mets. And then how about David Peterson? Breakout season, starting pitcher, southpaw, lumbering lefty, had a great year. Finally emerges, claims his rotation spot. I'm not a reliever. I'm a starting pitcher. You guys developed me. You stuck with me. Hey, Dave, you want to get your first career save? Okay, here's the ball in the 9th inning of a do-or-die Game 3 wildcard series elimination game. Here you go. Get us 3 outs, would you? Yeah, no big deal, right? How about it? Leadoff single. I'm a little bit rattled. I'm a little bit worried. Tying run comes up to the plate. It's a playoff game. I'm terrified. David Peterson keeps his cool. Gets the strikeout against Joey Ortiz. Gets the double play off the next hitter whose name I'm forgetting. Ball game over. Mets win 4-2. One of the most unlikely comebacks that happened like that. It happened in a flash. It must have been 5 minutes of gameplay at the very end of this long, grueling pitcher's duel, and the Mets make it happen. A season that started 0-5, 22-33, the rallying cries in the middle from OMG to Grimace to Hawk to all that stupid stuff that we subscribe to and love because it's fun. All of it was about to end in the most deflating way possible for the second time in 3 years. You were almost the first team to win the first game of the wildcard series and then lose the series. No one does that. We were almost the first. We were almost the first team to be in the game 3 of wildcard series twice and lose them both. We were about to have that moniker attached to this wonderful Magic season. And instead, one big swing. The first home run of the series for the Mets, by the way, the long ball they had been waiting for, comes at the perfect time. And now it's a whole new world. An hour ago, I was staring down the barrel of, okay, how am I going to spin this on the show tomorrow? How are we going to reflect on a great season that ended in a poor way, just like we did 2 years ago? Now, who's pitching game 1? You just use your game 1 starter to get the save. I don't know. The Mets don't care. They're spraying each other with champagne, streaming it all on Instagram Live. Milwaukee, thanks for coming. The Mets are advancing in the postseason for the first time in almost 10 years. I can't believe those are words that are actually coming out of my mouth. Since 2015, this Mets team has not won a playoff round, and they just did so in the most unthinkable way possible after mismanaging a game 2 that could have been the victory, being the only team to be on game 3. Winning that game, coming from behind. Now you face the Philadelphia Phillies, the big bad red team that's been the 1 seed in the NL. It's been their league to lose the entire year, and you're walking into the bank, one of the toughest stadiums to play in, with a head full of steam and a bottle full of magic. I can't wait to see what this team does over the weekend. There's going to be a ton of content coming to Shea Station. Tune in tomorrow morning for our latest podcast. Tune in tomorrow morning for more stream highlights. And stay tuned for live streams, more podcasts, more highlights, because it's all coming to the Blue and Orange channel. So make sure you subscribe if you want more of this content. Enough of my word vomit. Let's go Mets. We'll see you Saturday.